My name is Daniel, and this is a story I never expected to tell. 2 years ago, I moved to a new city for work. Everything was new, new apartment, new office, new people. At first, life felt lonely. I spent most of my evenings alone, watching movies or walking in the park near my apartment. One evening, while walking in the park, I noticed a woman sitting on a bench reading a book. She looked peaceful and confident. The soft sunset light made the moment feel calm and beautiful. As I walked past her, the wind suddenly blew a few pages of her book. "Oh no," she said softly, trying to hold the pages. Without thinking, I quickly helped her. "Here," I said, picking up the pages. She smiled warmly. "Thank you." That simple smile stayed in my mind longer than I expected. Her name was Emma. We started talking for a few minutes about books and the quiet park. The conversation felt natural, like we had known each other for a long time. But there was something unusual. Emma was older than me. At first, I didn't think about it much. We were just two people having a nice conversation in the park. However, that small meeting slowly turned into something deeper. The next day, I found myself walking in the park again, hoping to see her. If you want to know how this unexpected meeting turned into a story that changed my life, keep listening to the next part of the story. The next evening, I went back to the same park. I told myself it was just for a walk, but deep inside I knew I was hoping to see Emma again. And she was there. She was sitting on the same bench, reading another book. When she saw me, she smiled. "Well, look who is back," she said playfully. I laughed. "I guess I like this park." That evening, we talked for almost an hour. Emma told me she worked as an art teacher and loved painting landscapes. I told her about my job in marketing and how I had just moved to the city. The conversation flowed easily. She was intelligent, calm, and very kind. Over the next few weeks, meeting in the park became a small tradition. Sometimes we drank coffee together. Sometimes we walked through the park and talked about life, dreams, and memories. But one evening, Emma suddenly became quiet. "What's wrong?" I asked. She looked at me seriously. "Daniel, you know I'm older than you, right?" I nodded. "Yes," I said, "and that doesn't bother you?" I thought about it for a moment. "No," I answered honestly. But I didn't realize that other people would soon have strong opinions about it. Our friendship slowly turned into something more. One evening, while walking through the park, Emma stopped and looked at me. "Daniel," she said softly, "I think we should talk about something." I could hear nervousness in her voice. "What is it?" I asked. She took a deep breath. "People are starting to notice us together," she said. "Some of my friends think this relationship is strange." I stayed silent for a moment. Then I asked, "What do you think?" Emma looked at the ground. "I care about you," she admitted. "But I'm afraid people will judge us." Her words were honest and vulnerable. I gently held her hand. "Emma," I said, "people will always have opinions." She slowly looked up at me. "But what matters is how we feel." For the first time that evening, she smiled again. That moment made something very clear to both of us. Our connection was real, and sometimes real connections appear in ways we never expect. A few months later, life felt different. Emma and I continued spending time together. We visited museums, walked through the park, and shared many quiet evenings talking about our dreams. Yes, some people judged us. Yes, some people didn't understand. But something important had changed inside both of us. We stopped worrying about what others thought. One evening, we returned to the same bench where we first met. The sunset looked just as beautiful as it did on that first day. Emma smiled and said something I will never forget. "You know, Daniel, life is too short to ignore happiness." I nodded. She was right. Love doesn't follow rules. It doesn't ask about age, time, or expectations. Sometimes love simply appears when two people truly understand each other. And when it does, the most important thing is to protect it. If you enjoyed this story and want to improve your English with more interesting stories, don't forget to like the video and subscribe for more English learning stories.